Jo Kelly is the Australian's correspondent in Washington, D.C. Jo, there's a massive political breakup going on in the United States. It's Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene.
So there's things I disagree with, and I'm allowed to do so.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. Frankly, I don't think anybody cares about her.
She's a Republican congresswoman from Georgia. She's a central figure in the Make America Great Again movement. Why are they breaking up?
Yeah, look, it's a fascinating question that you ask, Claire. The first thing is Marjorie Taylor Greene is very much a staunch defender of this Make America Great Again, America First agenda that was championed by Donald Trump. She is a hard-right conservative populist. She really got into politics because of Donald Trump, but they've had a lot of recent disagreements. And essentially it boils down to Marjorie Taylor Greene thinking that Donald Trump has taken his eye off the ball and he's not prosecuting his America First agenda or implementing it, at least not to the satisfaction of Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I mean, Donald Trump, he usually yells at everybody, so we're all used to it. But he's the president of the United States, and here's something you all may not know about me. I think a lot of people on the left are learning that when I ran for Congress in 2020, I ran criticizing Republicans and Democrats equally, because I come from a working class family, ran a construction company for over 20 years, and I feel like the government has failed all of us. And it purely disgusts me. It really does.
She thinks he's spending too much time on his foreign agenda. So she's been critical of his initiatives in the foreign arena, including his handling of the Middle East conflict. She's been very critical of Israel. She said that Israel was committing a genocide in Gaza. She's been critical, really, of the influence that Israel has over the US political system. She opposed the bombing in Iran. She wants to see America avoid foreign entanglements and wants to ensure Donald Trump upholds that principle. So she was very disappointed recently when President Trump met with the leader of Syria, Ahmed al-Sharaa. She said that would have been a very disappointing event for people who had served in the US military, particularly given his former terrorist links.
I very much am against that. I think that was very hurtful to the great men and women who served over in the Middle East.
On the domestic agenda, she thinks Donald Trump is making missteps as well. She is concerned about the cost of living crunch, the affordability crisis, which is still ongoing here in America. Inflation is still elevated, running at about 3% in the year to September. She was concerned about health insurance premiums going up. She actually supported the extension of those enhanced Obamacare subsidies, which were unveiled back in 2021. So that was a very obvious disagreement between her and the president. She's also critical of Trump defending the large numbers of foreign students, Chinese students attending American universities. So there's a diverse range of issues, but the big one is the Epstein files. And Marjorie Taylor Greene has really, championed the release of the Epstein files. And has supported trying to compel the Department of Justice to release all the details that it possibly can.
Democrats released a bunch of Epstein emails last week, and then Trump indicated that he's supportive now of release of more. Where are those files at now, Jo? I mean, we talk about the Epstein files, but God knows how many of them there are. Are we actually now talking about the release of the kind of documents that Marjorie Taylor Greene and her supporters want to see?
Yeah, so there's an Epstein Act now, which is going to be voted on. It's setting out exactly all the sorts of documents that they want to see released. So this is what Marjorie Taylor Greene wants. She supports this particular piece of legislation. Donald Trump, of course, tried really hard to prevent this bill from going to a vote. Donald Trump, at the last minute, despite trying to prevent the vote, has felt that he's needed to backflip. And he is now encouraging Republicans in the House to support this act. So this is a 11th hour reversal designed to ensure that the Republicans who are likely to support this bill en masse would not be seeing as defying him. That was the outcome that Trump desperately wanted to avoid. And clearly, I think Marjorie Taylor Greene had become a symbol of this defiance from Republicans. And I think probably what made it all the more galling for Donald Trump is that Marjorie Taylor Greene has been such a strong champion of America First. And I think he probably didn't want to see someone else laying claim to a portion of his MAGA constituency.
What is the truth now, do you think, about the Make America Great Again idea and movement? Is it still closely associated with Donald Trump? Is it right for him to say that this is his? Or has it now grown beyond him into a political movement that he can't control?
Well, I think two things can be true at the same time, Claire. So I think Donald Trump was instrumental in developing this really influential political movement in America, and he's really proud of this. He views this as one of his, great achievements. And you've seen that in his comments recently, where he said it was his idea. I mean, he honestly feels that he can dictate the passions of this movement and then harness that movement to really advance his own political interests. So he is concerned that he retains that ability, retains control over that movement. So this is a new and powerful coalition he's managed to pull together, but Trump won't be around forever. And so there is an issue now about what happens to this political constituency after Trump. What does the MAGA base look like in a post-Trump world? And this happens more quickly than you might think. So we have the midterms next year. Things aren't looking that good for Donald Trump. It's usual that the administration loses the House. In fact, in recent memory, it's only been George W. Bush in 2002 that managed to hold the House in the midterms. So if things don't go well for Trump, we really are talking about this new phase of politics coming, by the end of next year, Claire. So I think Donald Trump has this at the back of his mind. I also think it's probably why he continually flirts with this idea of a third term to keep people guessing and ensure that he's seen to have potency and currency. But at some point, I think Donald Trump will address this idea of a succession plan for his movement and who is best to carry the torch of Trumpism into the future. Now, what that looks like at the moment, I don't know, but I think Donald Trump will be very protective of his legacy.
One of the insults he's thrown at Marjorie Taylor Greene, apart from traitor and wacky and lunatic, is rhino, Republican in name only. That kind of made me smile, Joe, because that was one of the insults that Trump and his supporters threw at the old school Republicans, the people who they would have characterised as inside the Beltway, the establishment, the swamp. They talked about draining the swamp.
So Donald Trump took over the Republican Party and he's reshaped it. He's purged the party, and he's managed to do that incredibly effectively, and effectively rule over the Republicans in Congress with a bit of an iron fist. And actually, he's been very critical of the old establishment Republicans. I was at an event only a few months ago, a national conservative conference where the United States Trade Representative Jamison Greer really unleashed on the George W. Bush era saying that families in America got left behind. They misjudged the China trade relationship and the China threat. I was struck by how ferocious that criticism was. So this was really, an internal revolution of the Republican Party on the conservative side of politics. I think what makes Marjorie Taylor Greene so interesting is that she is part of that movement. So this is a rift within. Really within that new remaking of the Republican Party that Donald Trump has overseen. And I think that's why he's been clearly so engaged and singling her out by name in numerous posts on his Truth Social platform. He wants to ensure that he is the one who is seen to be the true representative of the movement. But you made this point about some of the decisions that Trump has made now. I think it's a case of him getting mugged by reality a little bit. We are seeing him recalibrate his political strategy now, Claire. So he's back down on some of his reciprocal tariffs because they were increasing prices for everyday Americans. So he's tried to seize control over the political agenda. The Epstein reversal is an example of that. His decision on tariffs is an example of that. And his public criticism of Marjorie Taylor Greene is also another criticism of that. But I'd add one final comment, which is Trump's interest in hosting foreign leaders, I think, is very much in keeping with his view of the role of the United States president. And I think that's one of the things that he very much likes about the job. All the foreign leaders coming to pay tribute and kiss the ring and, unveil their, various offerings to him, in an effort to try and ensure that relations remain as steady as they possibly can. So while he had the American first agenda, I think that this is always one of the perks, or rather I should say challenges of the job that he's always been attracted to.
Joe Kelly is the Australian's correspondent in Washington, D.C. Thanks, Joe.